Hello, everyone. I want to welcome a global audience and thank you for joining us as we tackle improving revenues with multi-channel distribution on the cloud. My name is Skylar Matson, and I'm president of Wong Duty, the global experience and design platform for Infosys. We're going to now talk about combining audience data and content intelligence on the cloud. And this is so important, continuing on this topic, to make sure the content aligns with the audience who wants that content. And I'd like to bring in Anant Adya to talk about this with me. Okay, Anant, how can companies really reimagine and monetize data and content to create a network effect while transforming the audience experience?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity, Skylar, and thanks for the question. In fact, the single word answer for that is cloud, right? And it is a big enabler. And the way we are envisioning this whole thing related to cloud is it's all about reimagining process, content, and data to respond faster to market, right? And this is all about market responsiveness. And it's all about three things, right? One is how can you respond faster to market? How can you roll out new offerings and new services? And how can you better customer experience, right? I mean, these are the three things that we are doing with respect to how we can monetize and respond faster using the monetized data. Right. And essentially what we are trying to do here is if you look at data or what we call as a content data, so far as a consumer, right, as me as a consumer, it has always helped in terms of personalization, right? We have always seen when you go to a Netflix or an Amazon Prime or any of these platforms, you actually get personalized messages in terms of what content you have to review or what content is something that you might be interested in. But we are taking a step ahead, and Anand spoke about the media platform and Buzz spoke about how Google is doing a lot of things. We are essentially trying to see how we can use content intelligence and data to basically better the experience and roll out specific campaigns and offerings to the consumers, right? I think that's very essential. Predominantly because if you look at content intelligence, right, you essentially have to make sure that you ingest the data, because ingesting data, collecting data, analyzing data is extremely critical. So that's the first step in intelligence. Second is use the AI and ML tools to spot trends, predict behavior, and that actually gives you much more intelligence in terms of what you need to do next. And in both these areas, essentially we are leveraging Google Cloud. In fact, we have teamed up and partnered with Google Cloud and launched several solutions as part of our Infosys Cobalt Cloud brand. And we are helping customers to basically not just improve the revenue streams, but also better the customer experience. So that's essentially what we are doing in this space.
Wow, that's so interesting. When the predicting behavior, I think, is a very interesting area. Can you give an example of the type of data that might predict someone's future behavior?
Absolutely. In fact, as Buzz was talking about it, one of the things that we have always been challenged, or one of the things that our customers have always been challenged, is how to basically even look at data and how do we basically ingest data, because data resides in so many databases and so many platforms and so many devices. The first step is to basically make sure that we at least understand where data resides. The second step to that is once you identify the data, the next step is to see how we can ingest that data into these particular large data sets and large data warehouse that we will build, and make sure that it is all in one place. And then leveraging the AI ML tools, you start looking at trends and predict behavior. So for example, right, I mean, if you look at some of the consumer behavior that we are seeing today, is not everybody wants to basically view scheduled content, right? In the sense there are these scheduled times where there are certain serials or episodes that customers would actually view. It's not just that. There is also content that customers want to record and view it later. And then there are these live events that you are talking about, right? So the way content is going to be consumed is actually going to be very, very different for different customers. So how do we basically predict that and then basically come out with targeted campaigns towards these consumers is what we are talking about from a future behavior standpoint. So that's essentially what we are trying to do.
Got it. And how can all of this data help digital channels grow? How can it help drive revenues? I mean, that's what we're all talking about here. How can data play into that?
Well, absolutely. In fact, one of the things that we have done as part of our Cobalt offering is the platform that we have created with our data and analytics team, which actually helps you to come out with meaningful inferences and insights and give very, very targeted recommendations to our customer as to what are the 3 or 4 things that are happening in the industry, right? And what are the 3 or 4 things that customers are basically looking forward to, right? Whether it is about enriching the content or looking at streaming better content, and making sure that we come out with targeted campaigns for enrollments, and looking at what are the things that we can basically project. So there are these meaningful inferences and insights and recommendations that this platform gives, which actually helps even the marketing teams to do targeted marketing campaigns, which actually then drives the upstream revenues. So that's essentially what we are trying to do with respect to our platforms and our cloud offerings and Cobalt offerings and partnership with Google.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your insight there on it.